Welcome to the Lounge Lizards podcast. It's so good to have you here. It's a leisure and lifestyle podcast founded on our love of premium cigars, as well as whiskey, travel, food, work, and whatever else we feel like getting into. My name is Gizmo, and tonight I'm joined by Rooster, Poobah, Senator Pagoda, and Bam Bam. And our plan is to smoke a cigar, drink some cognac, talk about life, and of course, have some laughs. So take this as your 42nd official invitation to join us and become a card-carrying lounge lizard. Plan to meet us here once a week. We're going to smoke a Cuban cigar tonight, share our thoughts on it, and give you our formal lizard rating. We enter Rooster's Connoisseur Corner to review a 50-year-old stick. Poobah shares his cognac burger recipe, and Rooster questions giving out nice cigars at parties, all among a variety of other things for the next hour. So sit back, get your favorite drink, light up a cigar, and enjoy as we pair Remy Martin XO Cognac with the Los Statos de Luxe Delirios. A very aged Parejo tonight on the pod, the Los Statos de Luxe Delirios. We boys have entered Rooster's Connoisseur Corner.
That's right. This is where the habit gets dangerous. I mean, going right to the danger zone right now.
We're in the danger zone, baby.
We're doing cognac.
XO.
We're doing cognac XO. We're doing pre-embargo shit. Let's go, Mav.
You whip your head back like you're in a convertible. I love it.
We are in the danger zone with this beautiful 40 ring gauge by 4 7/8 inches. Again, 50-year-old cigar. So the very special night tonight on the pod. Rooster, thanks for bringing these in.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Let's cut this thing. See, we're getting on the cold draw. This beautiful little cigar.
Oh, wow. Draw is wide open.
I can't wait. I've never had a cigar that was earlier than I think the oldest cigar I've had is from like 1998.
Me too.
I've never had anything, I think, that earlier than that.
There's a Diplomatico
Yes.
Lancero that I had,
Yeah.
98. Fantastic.
Very sweet.
It is sweet. Dare I ask how much these are?
I'll tell you when you Venmo me.
Oh, shit. Are we
We're
doing
definitely
that?
going to Venmo them. Absolutely.
No, I'm just kidding. Gonna write a check.
You can really taste the age on the cold draw. I mean,
yeah.
it's musty. There's an odd sweetness there that I
A
can't
bit.
quite call out.
Not much else, though.
You know, I was wondering if this is gonna taste like the Portuguese Culebra that we had that had a lot of age on it.
Let's
That
hope
was
so.
really smooth.
Yeah, and delicious.
It doesn't taste like that on the cold draw. It tastes like some sort of
Yeah.
old Fig Newton or something.
All right, boys, let's light this thing. The Los Statos de Luxe Delirios. Again, it's a 40 ring gauge by 4
This is where
7/8 inches.
Sorry. This is where a single flame lighter
Yeah.
is ideal
These ST DuPonts are perfect for this little thing.
for such a delicate Cuban of this age.
Yeah, you don't want to burn the wrapper.
No.
Just want to toast the end.
Smoke slow, boys.
Rooster, where did you? How did you decide to? I know you've kind of had your eye and you've been kind of accumulating some pre-embargo stuff, but how did this one become of interest to you?
I don't know. It came up, and I was curious. I messaged the seller if he could tell me a little bit about it. And this guy really does collect a lot of pre-embargo stuff. I mean, that's predominantly what he smokes
Yeah, I see it all the
on a
time.
daily basis.
Yeah.
So he said, "Listen, you gotta try it. It's a great morning smoke, medium, not heavy, not really an after dinner smoke, but try it." So so I'll give it a shot. It
Well,
came in a 10-pack in a
awesome.
in a box.
What's
he said-
sorry.
Go ahead.
What's everybody getting here?
On the light, it's very, very cool, very different. There's
Like a menthol, grassy type thing. I don't know.
an odd sweetness that's covering the coat of my mouth, like the roof of my mouth.
I don't know. I get spearmint. Is that
It's very
weird?
cool.
My taste buds must be off.
I'm not getting spearmint. Did
I'm
you
not
brush your
getting
teeth?
any mint. But
I get a little bit of what Bam's
Oh,
describing.
you're getting it too?
I do.
I'm not getting that.
I
Well,
do.
maybe like a little grassy note.
A bit, yes. I get the
say
grassy
that?
and a
But
really
it's a little minty.
faint spearmint type thing.
Hmm.
Very faint. Menthol.
It is very unique, unlike anything I've ever smoked.
I will say the smoke is creamy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is very
Oh.
creamy. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like
Indeed.
it's like nothing I've ever had before.
Yeah.
Really, I'm trying to even draw.
Like the aroma out of the smoke.
Yeah, it's. I keep saying the word sweet, but it kind of smells sugary.
So that's the funny thing. The smoke smells sugary and sweet, but the draw, a little grass and a little spearmint, maybe a bit of I don't know, slight tobacco.
I mean, definitely tastes like vintage old
Oh,
tobacco,
oh, yeah.
right?
No doubt about it.
It does, but the sweet flavors you're talking about, it's almost like some sort of baked good on
Yes.
the finish. Like when you just
Yeah,
the flavor you get on the finish, I feel like I'm sitting in a bakery and I just took a bite of some sort of pastry.
You know what's funky is I get like a pecan mapley thing on the back end of this thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting call out.
Way back.
I
in the
feel
end.
like I don't get that kind of sugary thing in the
No.
back of my mouth, and I'm getting it here.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that mapley thing sugary or sweet. It's just a note, like a mapley type of pecan thing I'm getting.
I think pecan is a very good note.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
complex.
It's very
cigar.
complex.
Yeah.
It is amazing to me that a cigar that's sat for 50 years can, and obviously it needs to be kept well. So let's say that it has to be kept well. But you know, I can't believe that a cigar can sit for 50 years and still increase in flavor like this. I mean, as opposed to, you know, have a peak and fall off. I mean, we don't know how good it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but this is pretty incredible to me that this is not smoking dead or
The condition
that
is
the oils
fantastic.
are gone. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah. You would never know by looking at this cigar that this has been,
That old.
aging for 50
Do
years.
you-
It looks pristine.
I think the only thing that gives it away is the band.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean the wrapper is it's a little toothy. It's not the best looking wrappers. It's not really that smooth. But the flavor out of this is and the burn is so far. I mean
The burn is excellent.
To your point about smoking slowly, I think if you blow through this, I think it's really going to do this cigar a disservice.
I'm looking at ashes.
Everyone looked at Bam and Pagoda.
No, I'm,
Yeah, smoke
I'm
slow.
right with you. I think.
Yeah, gotta smoke slow.
Yeah.
So I'm counting from 100 backwards.
So these were discontinued in 2005. This entire line.
Wow.
And I think it was introduced in the 1940s, and after 1980, these became machine made. I think they made about 4 or 5 different Vitolas.
So we're going off of the same information, which there's not much.
There's not a lot, yeah.
But pulled this from Min Ron Nee's Encyclopedia of Post-Revolution Havana Cuban Cigars, and there's only one page on it. Where and Upman in the book or Partagas, there's pages and pages and pages. There's quite literally half a page on the history of Los Statos de Luxe. But yeah, there were a total of 7 Vitolas in this line, and like you said, it was discontinued. What was
2005.
it? 2005.
Right, introduced in 1940, and then till about 1980 they were hand rolled, and then after 1980s they were machine made.
Yep.
I mean, you obviously want to try the handmade ones as opposed to the machine made ones, but
Is there a real difference there?
there is, because the machine made ones are short filler tobacco. I mean, these are actual leaves that are rolled.
Yeah, that whatever that minty hint has gone away from me now.
It's gone.
Same. Now I'm
I agree.
actually getting baking spice,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like cinnamon or nutmeg.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah, that's what the guy mentioned. And he said that you'll get nutmeg and very creamy notes, leather,
I'm still on.
vintage.
I got pecan all the way for me, which
Yeah.
I like. I do like that.
What do you get any notes in this? Well, notes, not the notes, but could you compare this to anything else we've had before?
No.
I would say no. I mean, if I was forced to, I would probably say It's got a touch of Upman just because of the baking spice
Kind
thing.
of like an Upman sweetness to this.
That's
Yes.
where I would go.
That's
That's
where I
the
would
only
go
thing
to,
I would
yeah.
call out.
Yeah.
Maybe
sense.
it does kind of ring, like a little bit of the Partagas thing in the Culebra that we had, the aged Culebra. There's a touch of that. There's something there that's similar to me, but I wouldn't call this Partagas like.
Mm,
You know,
I don't get that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Partagas like. I mean, I think maybe the thing you're thinking of that I could see in common is that was a very creamy cigar, and this is definitely creamy as well with all that age. But the flavor profile, I definitely think leans Upman, and
Yeah.
even it's different. But the Upman Anahados, I think of because there's that nuttiness to the cigar. It's a different nuttiness than this has that pecan flavor that we're talking about, but.
And cream.
This is good.
Yeah.
And it has a creamy, velvety smoke, which also a really good Upman tends to have sometimes. So
The construction is impeccable.
It's
on
yeah,
fantastic.
this is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is smoking very light for me, very mild, maybe a bit toward the medium
Yeah.
body, but it's mild.
Yeah. I think it would definitely be a good morning, afternoon smoke.
Right. And I will say, this amazing liquor that we're drinking tonight, I think it overpowers it just a bit,
Yeah.
just a little.
yeah, I don't think so.
No?
I think the delivery of this cognac is actually quite.
Well, the cognac's so delicious.
So we're having the Remy XO Cognac tonight.
it's
and,
so smooth, and there's literally no heat to it. To me, I actually think it sets up pretty nice with the cigar.
I agree, and I think the flavor notes in this cognac in particular complement this stick really well. It was funny when we lit this cigar. Poobah, maybe it was a cold draw, said you got old Fig Newton, and in the cognac, I get a little bit of fig, some nuttiness that I also think pairs well with this. So I think flavor profile wise,
Okay.
they work really well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's because the delivery of the cognac, there's like a viscosity to it that kind of coats your mouth, and the delivery is just so smooth and easy going, like so kind of relaxing that it complements how the kind of the smooth and easy going
Yeah.
smoke
I
from
mean,
this cigar is.
if this were a younger spirit, it would, I think, then completely overpower it if it was something with a bite. But I think a cigar this special deserves a really refined pairing. And I think this was an excellent choice, Poobah.
Yeah, great choice, Poobah. And I got to say, I've never had this. Obviously, we had cognac a few weeks ago on the pod for the first time. That was really my first foray into it. So I've had no experience, but I didn't realize the bottle was as ornate as it is. I mean, it's got these really, really crazy ridges around it. It's almost like a jug, like Poobah said when we were passing around. It's like a jug of really fine cognac.
It's a jug of cognac.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Really
Now,
good.
So what's the price on that one?
Here with tax in New Jersey, it was like 187,
Okay.
something like that. So anywhere else, it would be 200 all day,
Yeah.
Mm.
because the taxes in some of the states that have higher income tax or lower income tax but higher sales tax, they're going to nail you on the sin tax.
Yeah.
Like in Florida, it would be like $220 or something like that, probably. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
That is a big swing.
Yeah,
Is
I mean-
there a age statement on this?
So all XO cognacs are minimum 6 years aged.
Okay.
And we've talked about this, but sort of like, tequila or other things that we've done in the pod, they're each acronym has a age statement that sort of corresponds to it. So VS being 2 years, VSOP being 4 years, XO being 6 years, and that's kind of the top of the line. And I think for single malt Scotch, I would compare this in the category of like 18-year single malts. Those are
Got it.
usually around the same price point, around 180 a bottle for most of them. So I think it's in that class.
What I find interesting, have you retrohead on this cigar yet?
I have, and I'll do it
It
right
is incredible. I mean, it really enhances the baking spice and the things we were talking about. Really fantastic.
now. Oh, it's really nice through the
Oh,
nose.
it's awesome.
I did actually when I push it through the nose, I'm getting more of the minty thing.
I don't get that. I get the less of the mint's gone for me, but I get more of the baking spice when I do the retrohale. Fantastic. It's delicious.
Pagoda,
it's
what do you
super
think?
good.
Yeah.
Because you normally like full flavored cigars. I mean, this is
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. I felt that I've had something very similar before. I can't pinpoint it, but it does leave a very pleasant taste in the mouth. I feel that there's some kind of a really good flavoring which is left, which is like the baking spices, a little bit. I get a little bit of saltiness, and meaning I'm really enjoying it. By the way, it feels like a celebration, right? You're having
Yeah.
your cognac and such a wonderful cigar. Thank you, Rooster. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rooster. Yeah,
thank you.
it does have it tastes Cuban. I mean, it has that salty, like minerally thing going on kind of in the background. On top, you've got these dessert flavors. I mean, it does, if you smack your lips, it's not like as salty as a Partagas or something like that, but
Yeah,
it's there. It's there, but everything is kind of like come together into one. So it makes for this like very complex affair, and it's really
gets
pretty
better.
enjoyable.
I think it gets better.
and I don't find it too light. Like
Yeah, it's
I
medium.
wouldn't necessarily have it meaning I would have it in the afternoon. And
right, but
Yeah.
I mean, definitely not a post dinner smoke.
no,
No, but I think what I'm liking is that when this started, I would say it was mild, and now I think it's settling into medium,
Yeah.
which is a great place that has a lot of utility. So I really like that. The other thing I'm noticing about this cigar, I mean, for how small the size and ring gauge of this is, the combustion is really great. As I'm
Yeah.
forcing myself to smoke this slower,
I'm right
every
there
time
with
I
you.
take a puff, just clouds of smoke are just billowing out.
Yep.
It's awesome.
it's creamy. There's a viscosity to the smoke. There's a creaminess to the smoke. There's a viscosity to this cognac, and they're both very smooth. So for me, we're in the danger zone. This is like, this could cost you a lot of money to
Get your checkbook
get
ready.
your checkbook ready, because this is some high-end shit. I'm not going to lie. It's good. I mean, it's certainly really relaxing. Like, to me, this is like relaxation at its best. I mean, this is like very relaxing thing to go through with the cognac and this pre-embargo cigar. I mean, wow.
I was going to say that the
I
same
just feel
thing.
like putting my head back. And
Yeah,
going like,
I feel
oh,
like my vibe is totally chilled out since we lit the cigar. It's very elegant and relaxing, and with the cognac, it's just like my heart rate is probably at about 60 right now.
We're
Yeah.
very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
good for you. Mine hasn't been, my resting heart rate hasn't been 60 since I was probably 12. No, but it is. And I think, like, I had a long day today. I did a lot of stuff at work. It was long, and this whole experience is like, it really is very relaxing, because I've kind of pivoting out of my day into this. I'm like, okay, this is pretty therapeutic.
Yeah.
This is pretty therapeutic.
good
This
word.
is pretty good. Like, this is like a massage of sorts.
So I think this cigar must be smoked indoors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a great point, Rooster.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great point. Yeah.
Great point.
Because
Yeah.
to what I was saying before about the combustion, like, you get so much of that smoke, and just the aroma that you get is incredible.
You
and
want
how
to capture
creamy.
that.
I wish I
Exactly.
could take a bath in this smoke.
Yep.
Like, just wallow in it for an hour.
A
Like,
shower. You think
A shower.
You should just lock yourself in a closet.
I should.
Or smoke in your car with the windows closed.
There you go.
Hotbox yourself.
But it is a good point, because even last night, it was a really calm summer night. Very calm, like no wind. And I had a few Cubans, and it was very relaxing. The smoke was kind of sticking right with me, as it
Yep.
would in a lounge or even in here. But I still don't think I would smoke this outside.
No.
Yeah, it's an indoor smoke.
Agreed.
No, you don't take a cigar from 1970 and smoke it.
Some of these guys on
Inside.
the forum smoke out. They take it on the golf course.
On the golf
Oh,
course.
They're smoking
Some of these
What a-
Grand
guys
Reserve on the golf
What a
course.
mistake. What a mistake
I think a lot of that's posturing.
I agree with
for the camera.
Yeah, it's a lot of
I think those are just like photo ops.
yeah.
Some of them are not cut, not lit. But anyway, hey, by the way, my brother-in-law, who's not a cigar smoker, has been listening to our pod.
Nice.
He's listened to
Nice.
every single one.
Really?
He goes up to me he goes, Rooster, I really like the pot. I'm like, just came out of the blue, and
That's
he's
awesome.
listened to every single one.
I need a refill.
So is he gonna start smoking cigars soon or what?
I don't know. He's got a little bit of a health issue, so I'm not sure if
Understood.
he'll.
Understood.
This is good.
I mean,
This is good.
it's really good. It's super
Shit.
duper.
Can I just say, is cognac not awesome?
I mean,
It's fantastic.
It's
it's a
awesome.
world I knew nothing
it
about.
gets such a bad rap these days.
Look at this.
I mean, I guess it does. It's just not like people don't order it.
Yeah, I'm going
don't
on my
know why.
second glass. That's unusual for me. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
Pass that peace
Yeah.
pipe around.
Yeah, baby.
I mean, this is not
Puff,
Hennessy.
puff, puff,
You know,
puff,
it's-
pass.
It's not Hennessy. This is
I mean,
this is
the-
high end cognac.
It's true, but the funny thing is, you say that about Hennessy, and I think I mentioned this on another pod how I just have a really negative perception of Hennessy because you see this stuff in nightclubs. But I mean, they're the oldest like cognac house
Right.
in France. I mean, their history is actually really, really decorated. So I think at some point we should try some of the higher end Hennessy
Right.
stuff that they make because I'm sure it's actually very good. But
I got to give props to Pagoda. Look at his cigar.
Well done, Pagoda.
look at that.
Taking his time, long ash. Fantastic.
Impressive.
Absolutely impressive.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
It is. It's really nice.
I'm going a little fast.
You always
I
do.
admit that. But I find when I have to take my time with a cigar, like Poobah said, it decompresses you. It drops your heart rate. It's amazing.
But what's interesting about this though? Sorry to interrupt you there, Poobah, but we didn't have a pre-pro discussion. Just for the listener, we didn't have a discussion like, "Hey, we got to smoke this slow or take this easy," or this cigar has set the tone tonight
Yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think that's really interesting.
it is interesting.
But I would say generally when it's a smaller ring gauge cigars, you kind of want to smoke them slow because they'll get hot.
Sure.
But listen, we did that. We did the Por Laranaga Petite Corona. We didn't. None of us were intentionally smoking that slowly, and that thing lasted an hour,
while.
15 minutes
Yes,
for us.
yes, it did.
For us.
I find that to be a bit denser than this. The pack is denser.
Yeah.
So if you have cognac sitting around the house, I used to make this all the time, and I forget where I got the recipe. It was on a cooking show or something. You know what? It goes really, really well in a burger, the cognac burger. And let me explain. So what you do is you take like a tablespoon and a half or so of cognac, and you mix it into a pound of ground beef. So it's 2 tablespoons or whatever if you do 2 pounds. And then you take a couple teaspoons or so, the taste of Dijon mustard, and you chop up some chives, and you throw that in, and you make this cognac burger. And I got salt, pepper.
Wow.
I got to tell you something, man. Really, really, really good. And the way I make them,
When are we coming over?
what you do with this particular burger, and I'm not a well done burger guy, but what I do with this particular burger is I make them a little on like the fatter side, and you use 80-20, but take just a little bit of butter and you put it in the middle and just cook it slowly, like all the way through. So it's well done. It can be medium well, whatever, but the butter through it and with the cognac, I'm telling you, it comes out so good. I used to make these all the time. It's called the cognac burger.
Sounds
I got to
amazing.
look the recipe up where I got it. It was from the Food Network or something. And I used to make it all the time. And I would just get cheap cognac at the store to throw in there. But it worked out really well.
Even see for desserts, they'll flambe sort of table side, like to make a bananas Foster or something. Cognac's very useful cooking wise.
Wait,
Yeah.
cognac is in Bananas Foster?
I don't
It's
think so.
usually rum.
You could use rum,
Oh,
cognac.
cognac, yeah.
I mean,
I
any
did
of
not
those
know that.
spirits,
Okay.
yeah.
I really like Bananas Foster.
I love
That's a great dessert.
Love.
It's an old school, at a
Love.
restaurant, like
Yes.
when they,
Bananas Foster.
like
It's
a
so
restaurant that does like Caesar salad, like
Yes.
table side.
Oh, I
they
like
do,
that.
like bananas Foster.
Oh,
You can choose how much anchovy you want in it.
oh
like that.
man, I love Bananas Foster and I love tableside Caesar salad. It should all come back along with cognac. I mean, honestly, I love that. So there's a place in Boca called Arturo's, not Arturo's up here, but down there. They make Bananas Foster's tableside. They also do a tableside Caesar, and they are fantastic. And This place is not there anymore, but also the Colony Tennis Club, which is of course gone, where Nick Bollettieri ran his tennis school. It's now been torn down, and they're building something. I believe it's like a huge Four Seasons or something on Longboat Key, down where my dad lives. And but the Colony did a tableside Caesar salad. We'd always split it. We'd go in, okay, me and you, me and nobody else. We're splitting this Caesar salad. Yes, got it. Okay, and then you'd go, all right, for dinner they did a double lobster tail, deep fried in tempura batter. It was absolutely outstanding.
Wow.
Yeah, with like an Israeli couscous or something on the side. It was fucking great. And we'd have the Caesar salad, the twin fried lobster tails, and then bananas Foster for dessert. I mean, it was like my favorite meal of all time.
Wow.
Because of the nostalgia of it.
We got to do a food podcast, boys.
That was a great meal. But you know, the place is
hungry
gone now. What a meal. What a meal. You can't get that anywhere.
No. I haven't seen table-side Caesar salad. I can't tell you how long. Even forget COVID. I'm years before COVID. I haven't seen it.
You know, it's under. You got to take a little bit of the anchovy and the garlic and the salt, and you do it. And then they take an egg, a little hot sauce, a little Worcestershire.
Just
take
the
the oil,
Yep.
whisk it
Little
up.
lemon juice.
Lots of black pepper, lemon juice. You got a Caesar, man, like fresh,
Yeah.
dude.
There's nothing worse.
best.
All right, let me put up an argument for you. There's nothing worse to me than getting a Caesar salad with creamy dressing. I think a creamy dressing like that's cream based as opposed to oil, that's a killer for me.
Well, yeah, but you also have.
I want a purist. I'm a purist.
I know, but you also have a food vendetta against things that have like dairy, like ranch, whatever the fuck it is. You're against cheese. And
I don't
shit.
eat any dairy, but that's beside the point.
Well, it has no. It's not because the ranch is like.
I don't know. Ranch is that's a
No?
non-factor here.
Oh,
I like ranch.
No, that's no.
I
you
thought there
can't
was
have-
like buttermilk or something.
I'm out on ranch, but
Ranch is a joke.
I don't mind a creamy Caesar.
From time to time, I like a creamy Caesar as well.
I love Caesar, and Grinder loves Caesar. We just text each other about Caesar salads all the time.
They have a Caesar side chat.
That's right.
We do have a Caesar side chat. Hail Caesar! Goddamn.
Well, boys, we're about halfway through this amazing cigar,
It's just getting better and better.
Los Statos
Yeah.
de Luxe from Habana, Cuba, and it's what a journey this is
Yeah.
taking us on tonight.
It's wonderful.
It's amazing.
It's different than when we first lit the cigar.
It is
Yeah,
It has
honestly, I wasn't
changed.
happy at all on the first light.
really.
Yeah, I had a lot of grass. It was very grassy for me, but it is incredible now.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
grassy and spearmint a bit, like I said.
I just think as you smoke this, the flavors get richer and deeper, and it's
Yeah.
got more body to it than when we started. And
yeah.
this is right where this is mine, and I think most, if not all, of our wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
Very happy with this. This is awesome.
100%.
It is awesome.
Special.
it's
So,
very
Rooster,
special.
what are the chances that we can get more of these? Yeah, I mean, seriously, I'm seriously asking. Like, does this guy?
Well,
have
there's a lot
more?
of boxes out there.
Well, look at Rooster's face. I think that says
I
it
don't
all.
think so.
I mean, does he have more of the 10 packs?
How many would you like?
No, I don't. I'm not being unreasonable. Maybe
I don't know.
like-
I can send him a message.
Yeah, this is really cool.
So, do you want to know what I paid for these?
I
Yes,
do.
please.
45 a stick.
That is less than I
Wow.
expected.
Wow.
I think that's a fair
I
price.
think it's a fair price.
It's
for
very
the cigar.
reasonable.
Yeah,
for
I
this.
mean, not knowing, I had no expectations. I'm like, all right, it's 1970s cigar, $45 we pay for, a lot of other sticks we've paid like, up there or
Yeah.
more.
More.
And
Well, given that a
for this
brand
kinda
new
age
Siglo
on it,
2, which is about the same size of this, is now $52.
I'll smoke this over a Siglo 2 any day.
Same
Any
here.
day.
$52.
Any day. And didn't Siglo 6s I saw are $2,000 a box?
Yeah,
fresh?
Siglo 6 is
I mean, come on.
1900 divided by 25.
It's absurd.
They're 76 at minimum, 76 new.
The Trinidad Fundadoras with some age on it, they're going for about $2,200 a box.
It's
now.
obscene.
It's crazy.
We bought those boxes for under 500, 600.
Yeah.
I think the last box I bought was $589.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I should have wired all my money to someone and got all boxes of Trinidad's instead of to fucking my financial advisor. I mean, no
It's a
joke.
better investment.
Way better investment
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
at the time.
I'm happy. I think I told you guys I bought that box of Cohiba Robustos right before all the price stuff went crazy. I think I got it
Yes.
for like $700 or something.
Mhm.
It's like double that now.
Yeah. Wow.
It's crazy. So I'm just gonna sit on it.
I think even got some of the guys who love Cohibas are like no mas,
Yeah.
you know, with it, and they have what they have. They're going to sit on it, and they do well with age anyway. So, but yeah, the prices are. Let's not talk about prices. It's depressing.
It really is.
I think we definitely need to explore more of these
Aged.
aged
Pre-embargo.
super aged pre-embargo sticks.
I do like the Rooster's Connoisseur Corner a couple times a year. I think we should definitely do that because this is special, man.
Speak for
Absolutely.
yourself. I'm ready to live in Rooster's Connoisseur's Corner.
The rent is unaffordable.
It is unaffordable.
I mean, for a special occasion, I mean, this is
It's
It's
great.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday night. Well, you know that's that. Well, it is. I mean, look, when you share a cigar among friends, it's well, what's really more special than that? I mean, as you go through your life, there's special moments. You get married, you have children, you do these things. You win scratch offs, whatever.
I've never won a scratch off.
I think I won like $15 once. That was
I
it.
got a friend, he wins so many scratch offs. It's unbelievable. I got another buddy. He wins they do a daily lotto, like a 3-number lotto. He wins that thing all the time.
Really.
Yeah. I got guys who are so good with scratch offs. I can't even believe. But anyway,
It's pure luck.
it's pure luck. But some people are just lucky.
I can't believe how relaxed I am right now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean,
This is shocking.
The spirit is like,
We're all just sitting here subdued.
I know.
yeah, I know.
It's wonderful.
I know.
Wonderful.
That's because it's very relaxing. The
Yeah.
whole entire combo. This number one meal combo.
Yeah. Yeah, this is special.
Getting the band off is going to could be tricky.
Yep.
It's been on a long time. No, it's not.
You'd hope the glue would not be as effective
actually-
after 50 years.
It fuses into the
fuses.
tobacco.
The band is. Look, it's typical. Like it's coming off in like,
Shit.
dude,
Strips.
2
It's
layers.
coming off in layers. Yeah.
Cute. Oop,
Oh,
oop,
brothers.
careful.
Mine's coming off real nice.
This
Careful.
is not good.
Careful. Got to be real
I'm
careful.
going to smoke through the band.
Oh, yeah, it did not come off.
No.
I lied.
Mine
I
will
spoke
not.
too soon.
Mine will not come off.
It's loose, but it's a problem.
You got to be real careful.
There we go. Oh, it's taking a little wrapper.
Yeah, mine took a little.
Okay, I'm good. I'm out.
I'm good. I'm off.
It's crazy. You're just taking a bit of a tiny draw. It
It's-
produces so much smoke.
it's so
It's
flavorful.
insane.
Yeah, so now
For a little guy like this, huh?
mine's presenting a problem.
Rooster,
I have some
Yes, sir.
collateral damage.
what are you doing? Your procurement skills are off the charts.
Look, I mean, I had no expectations. I had no idea what this would taste like or smoke like. So I was just going off of somebody else's words, and I mean, I trust him.
It is just getting better and better and better.
You know, the one thing I will say that I disagree with the note that we got from the guy you got these from. I don't know if I would like this in the morning with a coffee. I think that the kind of coffee I drink, black coffee, the really strong stuff that I drink,
Mm.
I think it would way overpower this cigar. And I think the cognac's doing it a service. I think the kind of coffee I drink would kind of like be doing too
Well,
much.
maybe with a little cream in the coffee.
So where
like
would
a
you-
I don't do
cappuccino
that.
or
I don't do
something.
that.
Where would you slot this in?
right where we're at right now is a special event. I'm not
Mm.
having a big steak dinner or anything,
Yeah.
but an evening with some cognac amongst to me the biggest requirement for this cigar, as we've kind of detailed, is a situation like this where
Time. It's time.
it's time, but it's also you're with a bunch of folks smoking the same thing, celebrating this 50-year-old cigar. I mean, it's just, the way my mind works is just like, think about it. Like 50 years ago, some human being was in Havana, Cuba, and rolled these cigars that we're smoking, put them in a box. They boxed them, they shipped them out. God only knows where they went around the world. Who had them for 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years at a
I'm
time?
sure there's a huge
I mean,
backstory.
What
to
is
this.
like? It's just amazing to think about the journey that these cigars have been on to now be where we are, smoking them together.
Yeah,
like
who
this.
knows
It's
how
pretty
many?
crazy.
Who knows how many hands they've been in,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible,
or how many times around the world maybe they've been.
and how lucky we are that they were kept as well as they were, and
That's
that they've
right.
remained in this condition.
That's right.
Well, good thing they had cellophanes on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Kind of protects the cigar.
Yeah, hell of a smoke.
Yeah, this is special.
I'm just shocked. I would truly smoke this any time of day. And I
Yeah.
never imagined I would say that, especially with the note around having this in the morning with coffee. This would be very satisfying in the afternoon. And even an evening like this builds enough flavor the whole second way through.
That's awesome.
I'm very satisfied right now.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed there's absolutely no like coffee or cocoa notes?
No,
right?
It's all gone.
It's pretty strong baking spice that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And
And-
the tobacco taste builds too.
It does.
does really start to taste like almost
Which I love.
tobacco. Just
For this guy, it's
yeah,
great, man.
tobacco flavor.
And actually salty. I think you mentioned that, Pagoda. I'm getting a little bit of that.
some salt, but
The
some
cognac,
minerality.
the cognac as it sat, now going 35 minutes or whatever. It's opened up in a really interesting way.
Yeah. My
Just
earlier
sitting.
comment about it overpowering the cigar, I think the cigar, like you said, Senator, it has caught up in body and, in
Yeah.
flavor. I think the balance now between the two, pretty spectacular. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's very good.
How many of these do you have, Rooster?
It was a 10-pack.
So he's got
Got 3 left. Unless you smoked one.
Yeah.
Did you have one before
We've got 4 left.
was this your
No.
first one tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Bam's keeping count.
There's 4.
Too bad there's 6 of us. We'll get more.
yeah. You got to be careful with the band. I suffered some collateral damage, but you can't fault the cigar for
Yeah,
that.
No, you can't.
The glue is tough.
I actually slid it down all the way to the end to preserve the wrapper, so I'm just going to smoke it all the way down.
So I'll say this: when I have that problem and I was able to get this off without any damage to the wrapper, instead of trying to remove it from the back where the glue is, when it's clear that it's just not going to give, the easiest place to really peel off is the front of it, like the bigger part of the wrapper
Right.
of the band.
Right.
edge.
Catch the edge and just start tearing, and then the rest will just slide off that back.
Yeah, instead of trying to undo the glue. Yeah. But it's not really affecting anything. It's just cosmetic.
I mean, it's pretty amazing for a cigar to be like 50 years old and to still have this much flavor.
It's
in the
incredible.
stick.
In the last third
at
here, it's-
what point do they start losing flavor?
That's a
I
great
mean,
question.
Do
sure.
cigars, like, how long can they last?
Yeah.
Now,
I think the thing that amazes me most about this is by far the oldest cigar I've ever had, but I'm just amazed that the flavor of this, it doesn't taste stale or old.
No.
It tastes refined, creamy, everything you want a cigar to be. And why I say I'm surprised by that is because if you have a really old bottle of wine, you will if you had a 50-year-old bottle of wine that was built to age that long, you'll immediately know that
Yeah.
it's a heavily aged bottle of wine. It doesn't taste anything like a younger bottle of wine.
I'm guessing ton of earth notes in a wine that old.
It's not even the earth notes. The wine just starts to change a little bit where you get this
mustiness.
mustiness and
A bit
acidity that you'll know it's an
Yeah.
old bottle. You'll get some great flavor notes out of it, but it's just instant. It'd be
Right.
almost impossible for you not to tell
Right.
that wine has sat for 50 years Where with this cigar, honestly, if I did this blinded, I would know that this has age on it. But
Yeah.
I would
Not
never
50
guess
years.
because I would just assume 50 years that it would almost taste stale or old, and it just doesn't, which is very remarkable to me about cigars.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the
I
true
would think
aging
after
potential.
50 years, it would start losing some of the flavor. You
Right.
know, I mean,
I think that can happen. I mean, I'm not an expert on the maturations, like the decline. I think there's, from what I've read, you know, they can peak. I think they, like a cigar can peak at a certain point and then, you know, kind of decline over time. But you know, I'm not an expert on pre-embargo cigars by any means. So,
No, it's all true. It can.
know.
But what's amazing about this is, you know, who knows when its peak was? Who knows if it was now? Who knows if it was 10 years ago? But I'm just impressed that there is no way that it hasn't hit its peak in 50 years. And so even if this is not its peak, it's still
damn good.
incredible.
It's such a good cigar.
yeah, it's really a hell of a smoke.
you know, we need to source some like Davidoffs that are
Yes.
Oh, the
Pre-
1980s.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
pre-embargo
Oh,
Davidoffs.
yeah.
I see them
You
come
know,
up
Cuban-
sometimes.
Cuban
Please.
Davidoffs,
Please.
those would be
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
I mean, you taste the age on it. I'm just trying to parse it out. Like, is it? Yeah, I mean, it's really, really good for me. I'm at the end now.
What's the oldest cigar you've had, Rooster?
This is it, man.
This is it. Poobah, you too?
Yeah, this is the oldest cigar
Okay.
I've ever had in my life. Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't have this in 1978.
This is pretty close to the year I was born.
After helping my dad mow the lawn,
I beg you.
he'd drink Rolling Rocks with no shirt on, like the what are the
What would you
little
call them? The
cans?
nips?
The nips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that word.
Yeah, dude. Lawnmower broke. You remember those images of your parents when they would get angry and you think they're gonna have a heart attack? Do you ever? You're scared as like a child. Do you ever?
Oh, yeah.
My
My dad's shirtless with his short jean shorts on.
Right. Yeah.
Just
and
furious.
furious about something that like
there's
he's
a belt.
fixing.
There's a belt on the lawnmower that went.
Right, and
yeah.
like there's fear, you know, like you're like, is he gonna die right now because he's so mad and you think he's so old? But meanwhile, he's like 44. You know what I mean? But you just think he's like 38. You're like, is he gonna die right now? You know? He took a Briggs and Stratton lawnmower and he threw it in a tree well. And I just remember he like picked it up like the Hulk and just threw it in there. And he was so angry. And he went into the refrigerator in the garage and he just like pounded a Rolling Rock nip. And I was like, oh my God. He was all covered in sweat, shirtless. I was like, oh, please don't die, Dad.
And then the transfer of power happened.
What do you mean?
Well, then you came in and you became the man of the house.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be so humble. Look at him.
These things happen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
These things happen. Well, it's true. I mean, you know, my brother, my nephew, my brother's son, is playing pretty good golf right now. I think he's going into his junior year. And he's starting to beat my brother from time to time on the golf course, and it pisses him off. So that's the transfer of power.
That's right.
Right there, you're going, what the actual fuck is going on here? It's called getting old.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's even you think about what what this podcast is about and what we enjoy, cigars and nice spirits. I mean, it's so funny. I remember the first time my dad, who got me into cigars, once I had started to really take a deep dive into this, and he's just sitting there. He's like, I never imagined I'd be learning, about this more from you. It's like the roles kind of
The
reverse.
transfer of power.
The transfer of
The
power.
transfer of
It just
power
gets
happened.
so deep that
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's true. It's getting old sucks.
Yeah, I wonder if I'll have a cigar with Bam Bam Jr. I think
Sure
it's
you
gonna
will.
happen.
Sure
I
you
think
will.
about that.
Someday it will.
he'll
think
be
about that.
corrupted at the right time.
I hope
Yeah.
so. I hope so.
Sure you will.
So,
This is-
so let me ask you guys a question. So we had a little graduation party for my daughter just over the weekend, and he had a few friends over who are, they don't really smoke cigars. They're not really avid cigar smokers. So I brought a box up, but I wanted to have a different cigar and give them something else.
Of course. And they noticed immediately.
They noticed it right away.
Oh, yeah.
And, so I ended up smoking the same cigar that everybody
Was it
else
an
was having.
Avo
No,
too?
it was actually the Por Laranaga PL, the Petite Corona.
It's a great cigar.
And they're looking at me like, why are you smoking something different?
What did you give them?
So I kind of like put it down. I say, you know what? The one you guys are smoking is one of my favorite smokes, and that's what I gave you guys. So I'm gonna light this. How do you feel like when that happens?
Well,
Or
Hang on.
do
What
you-
did you give them?
the PLPC, the Por
So what did you have?
Laranaga.
What were you
Corona.
smoking then?
I had the Padron 80th.
Well, that's a big baller
That's
cigar.
quite the jump.
I mean, it doesn't even look
You
similar.
can't get away with that.
I
Right?
can't.
No.
I
You
can't.
could have gotten
You're
away
right.
with a D4 or a RAS or something.
I don't think I would have because anything that's different, like they don't know what
Yeah,
it
they
is, right?
sense it.
Even if it was a D4, they're like, "You're smoking a different cigar than you gave us. Can I have one of those?" So I'm like, "Well, you got to kind of graduate to that."
Well,
You can't just-
I personally believe
I would
in
have just been like, no, you can't. Enjoy the gift I gave you.
I believe in the guest humidor.
Yeah.
I have given away cigars that I've regretted
Mm-hmm.
because the person that I gave them to didn't get it and they
Right.
kind of wasted it.
Yep.
So I am totally.
yeah, but this was a special occasion, and I wanted to smoke a good, like an awesome cigar.
Sure.
And to me, the Padron 80th is like the epitome of,
That's the
of cigars.
the
Tippy
point.
top.
The point I'm making though is that I don't think that you should have wavered from it. You say I can't give you this because you guys don't smoke cigars all the time. This will knock you around.
Yeah.
it's
That
hard.
would have been
It's-
my excuse.
So it's tough to say that to a guest.
Was it kids?
No, these
no,
are
these are my
These are
adults.
adults. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
friends. Yeah.
No, honestly, I think
Close,
it's hard.
close friends.
I think it's hard.
I've been through this, and it's not easy.
Which is why I think you just have to find like a balance of a cigar that
Yep. Do you love?
you're not thrilled to give out because you know someone won't appreciate it the same way that you will, but it's also not a Padron 80th or a cigar that you're spending,
right.
$30 plus a stick on.
Because I know like they wouldn't appreciate that cigar.
Right.
And most of the guys, they'll smoke it halfway and put it down or, like light it like 5 million times in between, walk away and, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So I'm like, I mean, the cigar I gave them is a great cigar. I mean, I love that smoke.
Oh, it's awesome.
So, but
Also,
know,
in fairness, I'm sorry, you're kind of a shitty guest if you're actually complaining
This is
about
true.
that.
I agree.
mean, let's be real.
This is true.
no, they weren't complaining. They were just kind of looking at me like,
It happens.
what are you smoking? What is that cigar? I'm like, well, this is a Padron 80th. So
Yeah, I like
And-
Gizmo's point. You just say, it's,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
strong
powerful
cigar. It's
smoke.
not for someone who doesn't smoke cigars very often.
Right.
You just
You say, "Oh, I really love the one you're smoking." It's not like it's bad. I smoke
Yeah.
it all the time. I love it. But
This one's too strong for you.
But-
The one I
But
have.
my strategy when
That's
that
my move.
situation arises is to smoke my first cigar the exact same thing with them, and I will finish that whole cigar light years faster than anyone else will. That because they don't smoke cigars very often. And then my next one, I'll light up something that is special that they're just not going to be able to appreciate. And there's no question because
Right.
they're still on their first cigar. I'm on my next one.
Yep.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Good
I'm
strategy.
surprised you didn't get acid.
Java.
There was some flavored
while
cigars for
you watch like half the while it boats and half the cigar is smoking in one
yeah.
direction and the other half because they never lit it properly.
Yep.
And the whole thing, that's the worst. I see that sometimes. I'm just like, wow.
Hopefully the FDA bans those next. They already banned Juul. That's got to be
Yep.
next on their list.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's hope they come nowhere near cigars.
Did about Jewel? I
Yeah.
see everyone smoking it even now.
Yeah, they're
Well, yeah, they're not going around
September,
collecting
they're
them
done.
if you already bought them, but
Yeah.
they can't sell going forward.
Good.
They're going to challenge it in court, and I would have to assume they're going to win because two other companies that make the same product they actually allow it to sell. So they have to win that in court.
Yeah, you
I would hope,
think.
but-
You would think. I mean, how much more stuff is going to get banned? It's just so odd. There's like not to get political, but we got needle exchange. You can go buy a crack pipe, dude, and a syringe. Not even buy it. Like just walk in New York City and like get that. I'm not even kidding. There's
I know
no
you're not.
exaggeration. You can in LA, major cities, you can just be like, yeah, I'd like some hypodermic needles and a couple of crack pipes. And they're like, yeah, this is free, rather have you do it safely And meanwhile, you got people. They're banning Juul. Like they're banning a.
So what are these people going to do? Are they going to go back to cigarettes? Like what are the Juul people
they'll
gonna
do they'll do a special allocation. They're going to take nicotine out of cigarettes, but like the drug addicts will be able to get cigarettes. They'll be like, no, you can. We got special. We don't. Last thing we want for them is for them to go into withdrawal or do something dangerous. And they'll do a whole PSA about it too, and there's whole PSAs saying, if you love, we know that substance abuse is a problem, and you're not alone. And I'm like, they're like the New York City Department of Health. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
But you can't have a cigar that you want, or a Juul. You can't have a Juul.
You
you can't have a Juul.
Some things in this world are just backwards.
Oh,
So
gosh.
we're
We're doomed, boys.
something's weird.
It's
happening.
worse in the West Coast.
Yeah, California.
Like you walk into like let's say a Target, you want to use the restroom, they're closed, they're locked because they're doing needles in there. So they're like, no, I'm sorry, you can't use the bathrooms.
Well, no, they just dump on the street in San Francisco. People
Yeah.
just
Dude.
drop trowel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really true.
It's horrible. I have a friend who owns a business, or owned. He closed up shop during COVID. Owned a business, in that was the first thing he had to do every morning was clean up the front steps of his business.
So,
You know?
I mean, I think I read Morgan Stanley moved the healthcare conference out of San Fran. They were having it out there. People are moving conferences out of San Francisco because people are just like, I really would rather not go. Hard pass on that. Because, who wants to see this type of activity? Not me. Hatchets, people with hatchets.
What? On the street?
New York City, you got people with hatchets.
No.
What do you mean,
Hatchets,
no?
axes walking around?
Axe,
dude,
axe
people-
throwing.
Yeah, don't people just get hit with axes, pushed on the subway? What do you mean, what? It's every day. People get hit with a hatchet. Someone saw you pick up the newspaper. Hit with hatchet, thrown on subway tracks. Michelle Go, God rest her soul. Deloitte, just tossed on
Yeah,
on the
that was-
tracks.
Yeah.
The tracks I've heard, the hatchet thing. is
Hatchet
weird.
Oh, the hatchets. There's been a couple hatchet attacks. Just Google NYC hatchet. You'll get like 8 hits.
That's
Just
crazy.
hatchet attacks. Somebody got hacked a couple weeks ago. He was just walking along and just somebody came up and started hatcheting his arm and legs and stuff and really injured the guy. I mean, I'm telling you, man,
Wow.
I'm not lying.
Wow.
That's it. Stay indoors and smoke some
Stay in-
pre-embargo stuff.
Pre-embargo stuff and hoard Juul. Don't leave your apartment or home.
All right, boys, you ready to do the formal liquor rating on the cognac?
Yep.
The Remy XO.
I polished off 2 glasses of these. Neat. It's delicious, smooth. I'm giving it a 10.
All right.
Flat 10.
Pagoda.
Fantastic.
A 10.
Excellent.
You're supposed to say a 10,
A 10.
a 10.
He's too relaxed.
For me, it's a 10.
I'm so relaxed, by the way.
Senator,
This is easy. A 10.
I'm the same. I think it's fantastic. I'm at a 10 all day.
It's ridiculous.
Amazing spirit. Amazing spirit.
Yeah, I'm at a 10 too. 10
All right.
for me. 10.
No, I don't need to do the math on that, boys.
Wow.
A 10.0
That's crazy.
on the Remy XO. Fantastic.
That's the highest liquor rating we've ever given.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
That's some of the best spirit I've ever had.
I think the Hibiki is right underneath, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
It's
the Hibiki
different.
did
This
very
is,
well.
this is a
Oh, this is
cognac.
totally
I mean, this
different.
is-
Yeah.
So we're coming to the end, boys, of the of our cigar tonight.
Well,
Of our
it's gone.
Statos Deluxe. What are your final thoughts before we rate it?
I mean, it went right down to the fingers. It's right to the end.
Yeah,
Delicious.
I found it to be a spectacular cigar.
Yeah, special. Special.
Yeah, I hope we can. I hope we're able to at least get one more each.
Oh,
That would be nice.
yeah.
I guess we'll see. You guys ready to do the formal lizard rating on this thing?
Yeah, we'll try to source some other sticks.
Please.
That are,
Please.
Excellent.
yeah.
Fantastic.
All right, Rooster, you're up.
I mean, this was a great smoke with so much age on it, with still such complexity and balance and smooth smoke. So I'm going to give it a 10.
Excellent. Poobah.
It was really good. I'm wavering. I'll give it a 10.
All right. I'm going to give it a 9, and I'll tell you why in a second. Senator?
This is tough.
It was very difficult.
I'm wavering like Poobah was, and obviously between a 9 and a 10. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Pagoda?
Yeah, this is tough. I'll go with a 10 because I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And the history behind it, and the environment, and even today, like, it was so relaxing when we came. We felt that it was just a special evening with the cognac and the cigar, and it's just a 10. It's a night of the 10.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10. I have never had a cigar that started the way this did and ended so incredibly. I mean, that journey was fantastic. I've never experienced that. 10 for me. It's got to be the highest rated cigar.
One of it. I mean,
One of.
Yeah.
Composite Lizard score, boys, is a 9.7.
Mm,
It's right there with the Shark, I believe.
incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, that's a perfect rating for it. Now, here's the reason why I didn't give it a 10. Is because I'm thinking about the other stuff that we're probably going to start diving into here as we got into the danger zone.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that a Davidoff from the 80s or an old Upman or an old Partagas Lucy, I kind of have to think like this is the first cigar I've had kind of in this way, of this age.
All right,
So that's
sorry.
kind of where
Yeah,
I'm
so
at.
I got to take
I'm a
issue
little-
with that.
I do
Take
too.
issue. Go ahead.
I'm going to start.
That's
And
the
I actually
argument.
gave it a 9, and I really don't
Go ahead.
like the reason that you gave
I,
it.
Go ahead.
I agree with Senator, and I have my own reasons.
Look, I think we cannot review a cigar saying that we think something that we've never had before and we have no idea what it will be like. We just assume may be better, so we're going to rate it lower because of that. I don't think we should be in the business of that at all.
I've had better cigars than this.
Well, that's a legitimate reason.
Okay.
That's what
It
you
is.
should have led with.
I've had better
That's-
cigars than
that's
this,
where
but
going.
I'm looking at it from the age standpoint being a really, really special factor in this.
Mm.
And I'm saying that, okay, this is the first one I've had here. I kept that in mind. But I've had better cigars than this.
So early on in our podcast careers here, I started when I was ranking my cigars internally. I was comparatively looking at other cigars and how they ranked with the cigar that I was smoking. Maybe 4 recordings ago, I stopped doing that. I'm ranking cigars based on my experience right now in this chair in this room, right here, and I'm eliminating all of the other cigars for me. That's me.
Which is fine. The cigar, I was teetering between a 9 and a 10, and the reason being is the size. So the size of the smoke for me, I just need a little more. So for example, we reviewed an Upman 14 recently, from 2014. For me personally, like, even though I gave that a 10 and I gave this a 10, I like that cigar better. But I'm not benchmarking the two because it's like you can't really compare them. I think for the size of this cigar and for like what it was, it really delivered a lot. Do I like it? Like, does that deliver a better experience for me? Because it's just, that's what I like. Like, the size of this cigar was small. I don't know what it was, if it was a petite Corona or even smaller.
Parejo. 40 by
Parejo.
40,
40
right?
by 4
So-
and 7/8.
For me, the only reason why I was maybe teetering on a 9 wasn't because of the delivery, wasn't because of the taste, wasn't because it's just really more the size of it. Like, I needed a little bit more. It's not as big of, you know what I mean? It's just
Totally.
It's hard to compete. So I'm not, as Grinder would say, racking and stacking like this. But I think for what it represented to me, I gave it a 10 for what it was. And that was it. So it was if I was to split hairs and do decimal points, it'd be a different thing.
So I would just say this. I think for me, when I'm rating any cigar, I'm not literally ranking every single stick. I think that's a useless exercise, but you have to compare to something. And the comparison that I always make is, if I give something a 10, it's something that if I could only have a few cigars, like I crave that cigar. And I loved so much about this stick, but does this deliver the amount of flavor that if I could craft this cigar myself and have someone age it for me
Right.
for 50 years, Does it deliver the amount of flavor that I would typically crave and be looking for? No. Does it deliver just enough that it's unbelievably satisfying, which is why I still gave it a 9? Yes. And so, cigars I'm going to give a 10, like a Shark, like a Padron 80th, like that Upman 2 2014. I did give that a 10. I would reach for those if those three were there, and that's just more the flavor profile that I'm craving and looking for. So that's the reason that those get a 10 and that this got a 9. It's just a flavor
totally
issue for
fair.
me.
Yeah.
It's not that there was anything wrong with this cigar. That's how it was designed to be delivered.
Right.
But just for my palate personally, a cigar that's a 10 has got to have a little bit more, a little more power to it for me to really get it that excited.
We're also splitting hairs. A 9 is an elite score.
I'm glad you
No
said
question.
that because I feel like that
It's an elite score.
9 or 10, I think they're both like,
Yeah, they're right there.
you'd love it. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a surprising cigar, which is why I gave it. A 10.
It was an absolute
Just took me by
surprise.
surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolute
I just feel like each and every cigar that we smoke should be rated on that particular stick that you're smoking.
I'm heading more toward that.
Not comparing it to the other sticks, because you could have, like we had the Upman number 2 2014 Lub. You could have another Upman 2 that's not going to smoke the same. So it's got to be rated for what it is on that day and that particular time.
I agree with
I
that.
agree, which is exactly why we did that Lub 14 Upman 2 on another pod. We should certainly do a younger Upman
yeah,
2
we
at
should do
some
young
point,
ones.
right?
Right.
And our rating may be different. And I think that's what's fun. I think we've talked about, are we going to run out of cigars to review at some point?
No.
That's impossible.
Yeah,
Because
and-
the years make such a difference and the experience is different. And I think that's what's going to be fun. as we
But
keep diving
honestly,
into
a
these.
young Upman too, the ones that we shared, Giz, they're so good.
Yeah,
they're
the 18,
delicious.
what do we have, 18s or 19s?
they're
Yeah,
awesome.
they're great.
And every single one of us in this room kind of has their own favorite profile, like flavor profile that we look for in a cigar. So this might check every single box for someone, but not for somebody else, right?
Yep.
It could be the size, it could be,
That's right.
it could
It's
be
right,
the age,
'cause
it
the
could
size makes a difference. I mean, it just like it was just a little diminutive in stature for like it was small. I mean, it was a smaller smoke.
I wish
And
it was
for
a
me
Corona.
that's why I was like teetering. It was a little bit like,
yeah.
should I give it another 10? And then when I thought about the context of it, I was like, I did smoke it down all the way. It was very unique. It was very good. So
Well, that's why the score that it got, the average score is
Yeah, it's
9.7, which is I think perfect for that.
It's
But
an
having
elite.
said that, there's some La Gloria Cubanas that we have had, like number 2s or number 4s or number 3s with a lot of age on them.
Incredible.
They're small ring gauge cigars, but they have so much flavor.
Incredible.
So
cigars.
much. I mean, I was blown away the first time I had the LGC number 4. And that's
That's a
a
little smoke.
That's a
That's
little
that's
smoke.
a 38, I think.
38
or
ring
36.
It
gauge.
feels like a cigarette in your hand.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
That
it
blew
feels
us-
like
that
that,
blew
but
us all
the
away.
Yeah.
flavor that you get out of that is,
Yeah.
I was absolutely blown away by that.
Well, listen, I think a
So-
9.7 on this cigar tonight, boys, is perfect. I think it's an absolute strong recommend.
Yep.
Obviously, it's going to be very hard to source. If anybody out there can find it, please do and send them to us. But, I think what a special night. What a special cigar. And the cognac was fantastic too, Poobah. I mean,
Perfect.
what a revolution! What a revelation cognac has been for me, and for us.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
It's
All right,
awesome.
boys. A 9.7 for the Los Statos de Luxe Delirios from Rooster's Connoisseur Corner. And we'll see you guys next week.
keep smoking.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave us a rating and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any comments, questions, if you want to reach out, say hello, tell us what you're smoking, email us, loungelizardspod, P-O-D, that's loungelizardspod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram @loungelizardspod. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.